Good show. Things are going great. Here I am, a flying ace in the war to end all wars, and the Allies are finally getting the upper hand. I think this war will be over in a couple of months. I've got to admit, I'm going to miss the feel of the wind in my face, my sup with camel feeling like an extension of myself. My beautiful Lucy here has pulled me through more scrapes than I can count. I'm sure going to miss her. Well, I guess I might as well try out this fancy radio the boys installed in her. Those Germans aren't going to shoot themselves down.
Attention Squadron 70 RFC. Attention Squadron 70 RFC. Andover is under attack by an unknown force of extreme power, taking heavy casualties. Request immediate assistance. Repeat, request immediate assistance. Possible attack from the planet Mars. This is not a drill. We believe to be under attack by the forces of the planet Mars.
The planet Mars? What kind of jiggery-pokery is this? Well, Lucy, we'd better get over there and take a look. Let's take a quick look at the Tripods and Triplanes game, where the Martians, basically the War of the Worlds Martians, have landed on Earth at the end of World War I and are planning on taking over our planet. We've got basically just a really quick battle set up here because it certainly won't last long with how close they are. This is the Mark I tripod, and it's a Mark I, so you can see on its base, these are the three sides that it can shoot its heat ray from. These are the icons for the heat ray there. And this is the light duty heat ray, which is the smaller of the two. And there's also the heavy duty heat ray, which is gigantic. Look at the range. I mean, that is huge. And that you can see on the Mark II. It's got right in the front, directly out of the front, it can shoot its heavy-duty heat ray. The other icons are for the black smoke weapons, and those can be shot out of wherever you see the black smoke icon. On the Mark I, it is only these two back directions right here. But they can be pretty deadly. You can also see, I don't know if you can make it out, but around the edges here, around here, and all the way around to here, everywhere except here, here, and here, there's this orange line. That is their energy shields. Yes, they have energy shields. And if they get shot in an energy shield that is powered, then they don't take the same kind of damage that they normally would. If they get shot in the front, there's nothing protecting them there. But anywhere around the side here, let's see, for the Mark II, it's the front and the rear, but the sides are open. So interesting. Very interesting strategies. And what would happen, though, is you've got all new damage decks for the Tripods and Triplanes game. So you would replace the ones from the regular Wings of Glory with these new ones. This is the A deck, which the Sopwith Camel here uses the A deck for damage for its machine guns. And when you flip over a damage card, 0, hey! If they're shot in an energy shield, it wouldn't take this damage listed here. It would only lose an energy if there's a little energy icon at the top, like that. Then it would lose 1 point of energy. What do you mean energy? Yes, each tripod runs on energy. This shows the info about the Mark I, this little card here. It uses the TA deck for maneuvers, it can take 18 points of damage. You use the Y deck for damage. And for energy, it starts with 8. That's the maximum. And this is its recharge rate. It can recharge 3 at an objective. And this bottom icon here says how far it can turn on one change facing action. So this one right here can change, the Mark 1 can turn 90 degrees with one change facing action. Actions? What do you mean actions? Yes, there's 5 actions that the tripods can do. They've got the recharge, and this is like the light recharge. It allows them to recharge 1 point of energy if they use this as an action during one of their phases. This is the black smoke weapon. So if you fire your black smoke weapon, you would put this out, and black smoke is their other weapon. I showed you the heat rays. This is the black smoke. It's basically a cloud of corrosive gas that it shoots out. And the way that works is anywhere where you see it's got the little line for shooting black smoke, this one has to be positioned exactly. So you would place this here, and this is the black smoke firing arc, I believe in the normal game. Now, these are all prototype components. These are not the final components. So that's why they look kind of used, because they're used for demos, for them testing the game. This would actually stand up on the table, and so when you would put it out, you could put it here, and then at the other end, you could take this black smoke, and the only rule for placing it is that the end firing arc has to fit entirely within that white circle, but you can rotate this any way you want. So this big cloud of black smoke gets placed out on the table, and if it hits a plane, it takes the damage immediately from the Z deck, and the black smoke goes away. But if it doesn't hit anything, it stays there. And if any plane flies into it, it'll finally take that damage, and then it'll go away. But it will not damage any of the tripods. They're, of course, immune to their own black smoke. I've got some energy cubes set up. These took those from another game. I don't have an example of the console for the Tripods and Triplanes game. This is just a console I used from Wings of Glory. But it's going to operate in pretty much the same way. So I've got these maneuvers set up here so we can play through a quick turn so you can see how it works. On the first turn, I didn't finish going through the actions. I apologize. This is the change facing action. So if you are going to change facing, this is the action you would use. This is the fire your heat ray action. And this is the destroy objective action. What that means is you can move up to an objective. Say this was an objective on the table. If the tripod moves up and overlaps it, then they can play this destroy objective token as their action, and they could actually destroy this. They can also, instead of destroying it, they can play they can choose to recharge at the objective, and that'll allow them to recharge their full amount of 3, because they're sucking energy out of whatever it is their objective is. And then on the next phase, they can destroy it. It works exactly the same. Each turn has 3 movement and firing phases. So we'll start with movement phase. Now let's move him back to where he was. The tripod needs to pick his action before he moves, and he's going to pick fire energy weapon because the guy is right in front of him, So that's going to be his action. And it costs an energy to fire that ray, but we're going to take one of the energy cubes and place it right in front here, because this is where he's going to be firing out of. Could put it here if you want to fire that way, or here if you want to fire it that way, but he's going to lose that energy cube. So we'll move the Sopwith Camel first, and we'll flip over the... he's going to move forward as well. Let's move the cube out of the way there. Whoa! Okay, they're fairly close. We'll let them do their firing actions. Okay, here's the firing template for the aircraft. Now the aircraft can fire anywhere in this arc, right? But for the heat ray works differently. See, it's got this little hammer-looking thing at the end. That means you can either place the heat ray like that against to shoot straight ahead, because this doesn't fire in an arc. It just shoots straight ahead. Or you can angle it like that, so it shoots off that way, or you can flip it over and angle it the other way. But it does not cover this entire spread. It only covers those 3 specific lines of fire. Now, of course, if they were firing out of one of their other energy rays, they could do that there too. But they got 3 different paths that they can shoot from. Now, as you can see, all this guy has to do is fire straight forward, and he is going to hit the Sopwith Camel at short range. The range isn't marked on here, but it's about half, just like on the regular airplane. So short range is the first half, long range is the second half. What that means is short range, 2 damage cards, long range, 1. So Sopwith Camel does his damage. We'll draw 2 cards from the A deck, and it does 2 points of damage, which goes face down, to the tripod. The tripod gets to draw from the Y deck 4 points of damage and a fire, 2 points of damage, and a jammed rudder. There's different symbols in this in tripods and triplanes. Some are the same. Fire means you're going to get the airplane's going to catch on fire, and for the next 3 turns, he can remove one of these fire tokens at the beginning of each turn, but every time he does so, he has to draw a damage card from the A deck. So he's going to take continual damage, plus he's taken 6 damage already. And this jammed left rudder means that he can't make left maneuvers on his next turn. It doesn't happen this turn because, of course, the maneuvers are already out on the board. That damage is also hidden, but the fire is visible, of course, because you can see when a plane's on fire. The energy is paid for shooting the weapon. He cannot fire this again in the next phase because it has to recharge, basically. So I just kind of put this here as a reminder that it's already been fired. We go to phase 2 of the turn. The Sopwith Camel's flying straight, and the tripod is standing still. I forgot to pick a maneuver. Dang nabbit. Or an action, I mean. Let's just choose recharge as his action. So, the tripod is going to stand still. That's what this maneuver is. Let me show you a few of the maneuver cards. This is what the maneuver deck looks like for the tripods. This symbol here means they cannot do an action if they do this maneuver. And this blue circle means that on their next maneuver, that maneuver is going to be in reverse. So they could play this to indicate that when they play this on the next turn, or next maneuver, they're going to actually move backwards instead of forwards. And this symbol means that it's going to cost them an energy to do this maneuver. This is a running maneuver here because it's red and straight ahead. Each turn they have to do at least one either running maneuver or standing still maneuver. One of those 2. If your tripod runs out of energy, that's bad because they can't fire the weapons, they can take damage from heat, and in certain situations your tripod can actually be toppled over. Once they're toppled over, nothing protects them. They can just be shot at, and it takes them a while to right themselves back up. So he stands still and he recharges, so he gets his little energy cube back. Now he's back up to full energy, and on the 3rd phase, we flip those over. Oh, damn it. This phase, he decides he's going to do black smoke, and the Sopwith Camel moves like that. But the tripod, again, stands still and decides to shoot out some black smoke. So we'll say he does it in this direction and tries to aim it towards the path of the oncoming plane. And that's the best he can do. That's just a quick first turn. Now that he's fired black smoke, he can't do that at the beginning of the next turn, but he can now fire his energy weapon since that's had time to recharge. We would take all the maneuver cards back, and they would plot out their next turn to play. That's just a quick look at tripods and triplanes. These things are pretty tough, and this is the easiest one. This is the Mark 1. The Mark 2 is much tougher, and let me show you this Mark IV. It's got heavy-duty heat ray, 2 light duties out of the front, and 3 black smoke coming out of the back. So this Mark IV, yeah, that might be a little painful. But that's a quick look on how to play tripods and triplanes.
I'm hit! Well, Lucy, looks like at the end of the line for us. The boys will just have to go on without us from here. God save the Queen!
It means that we need more pilots.